Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Frieren, you guys. We are getting some stuff right now because not only are we currently like doing this whole, I'm sorry, there's like a piece of like hair right in front of my eye. I'm not going to be able to get it. I'm not going to be able to get it. It's just going to have to live there for like the next, 45 minutes. It's all good. But we're right in the middle of this like tournament style arc. And we had all this like back and forth with the bird. And now we've got new info coming out about this like mage person that like founded this. It's a whole thing, you guys. It's a whole thing. I will briefly get into my thoughts on the last couple of episodes that I watched. Before I do that, I do just want to say if you're joining me early today, you know just what that means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so very much. And as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in that description down below. And if you're joining me on those YouTubes, I really hope you'll hit like and also subscribe for me. That does help me and my channel a whole lot. So thank you in advance for that. All right. So yes, we found out about Serie. I will listen for her name. Don't worry. I will listen for the name very carefully in the future. They only said it like one time in the last episode. But yes, we are learning about this like it looks like this person is an elf. Like that's what it looked like to me. I'm guessing that's where we're going with it. I mean, we haven't really had any other creatures on the show that look like elves that aren't elves. Like when Kraft showed up, he looked like an elf and he's an elf, you know? I miss Kraft. I hope he comes back. I miss Zine too. I don't think Zine is coming back anytime soon. But anyway, yeah. So we have this whole premise of like the magic association that like anyone who becomes a first class mage gets any spell they want. So it's now turned into, you can see how that would shape the competition and sort of the more, it would make the matter a little bit more urgent. I feel like it would really, I think it would create a little bit more urgency in people who are trying to get their first class mage license or whatever. We know that's probably going to be particularly interesting to Frieren on top of the whole like being an elf thing. So where we actually stand in the actual exam here, I think we lost our bird. Frieren's group lost their bird. The one group that we were following with Weerbol, I think it's pronounced Verbal, they got one. So we got to know them a little bit better too, which was really interesting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with all these new characters. So far on the show, anytime we meet a new character, we kind of get like, we meet them through the perspective of much of our crew that we've already established, you know, like we're meeting someone along the way because we're following Frieren and Fern and Stark. But this time we're kind of like meeting people a little bit more like independently almost. So it's kind of interesting. And I'm curious to see like what the interactions will be like. We got a little bit of interaction with Fern and the other people last time, but yeah, guys. So I'm very curious to see where this is all going. Without further ado, what do you say we go ahead and we jump right into the next episode of Frieren? Let's do this. Oh, we got a flashback. It's been a while. Whoa, wait, what? Oh, that voice. I know that voice. Honestly, the first thing I thought was, it sounds like Killua from Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, meanwhile, we're in this whole thing, too. I want to see what happened with this person in the past. I'm sorry, they're just chilling and having their tea. I mean, he's kind got a point, I think, but... Student I chose to train on a whim has already returned with her. Oh, so this is Flamme's master? This has got to be where she got one of her spells that we've seen her use. Oh! Yeah, see, I was just going to say, I feel like while she's going to like the idea, oh, look at Flamme is pleased. Flamme was pleased with that. This Denkin's got the right idea in a way. Yeah, that's what we've been training for. Oh, it has to be someone who is not seeking that. Okay. That actually makes a ton of sense, because there's a whole lot about her that's very peaceful. Nice. Yeah, see, Denkin, I don't know. Did I misjudge? Because first I'm like, he seems kind of like a slimy politician, but I don't know. A couple things you've said have kind of hit right. So I don't know. Oh, we're going to get a little history lesson, you guys. Okay. Okay. If you overcomplicate it, you know what? Makes total sense. It's because they're still rooted in that kind of base concept. Oh! Oh, there they go. Okay. That's interesting that at the end of the day, like, you know, less is more, kind of. I was gonna say, you can find water in a lot of places. Oh, so in other words, you'd really have to know. Yeah, it's not like just seeing it in a pond and then getting it. Oh? That's true. You specifically did not put them in a position where they could win, which I guess you could say was strategy, but... Yeah, I mean, then again, he's not trying to prove himself. Are you though? What is that? Oh! Oh! Flame NATO! Flame NATO! Flame NATO. Serie. Why though? Like, why exactly? Oh, you don't say. Oh, probably Frieren, yeah. I guess it'd be Frieren. Yeah. So it all kind of comes back to this the very kind of like cut and dry idea with magic of like attack and defense. Oh, but yes, she did. Oh! Ooh! And we're done. And we're done. I would not expect anything less. Like, this person does seem to know what they're doing, but... That's the thing, is I feel like... Yeah, we're getting our bird back. Thank you very much. Oh! Well, then we just say night-night. Oh, we're... Yep, and there's Laufen in the sill. And we're pulling a Fern, or Fern was pulling a Frieren, more specifically. Yeah, and she will too. Whoa, are you gonna fall for it or not? Yeah. Yep, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, rookie mistake, but still you could see how, oh, there we go, we got our birdie. Oh, she didn't want to see you get hurt. Clearly he needs a spell. Let me guess, he wants a spell like bring back someone from the dead who he loves or something. Is it something like that? Oh, okay, yeah, we actually did know that. Oh. I don't doubt that, but I think Frieren will. Oh, you see, Frieren's got faith in her friends. What? Oh, do you have the power to break the barrier, my dear girl? Because it kind of looks like maybe that's what you're about to do. We might want to put your tea down. Oh, you're so sure about that? You ain't never met Frieren before. Let me guess, Frieren's even more powerful than Serie. Whoa, yeah, it's done for. It's breaking. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Put it together. Put it together. The last great mage. Dang. Oh. Yeah, we shouldn't be. That make you pretty unstoppable. Oh, you want to talk about high volume physical attack using all of the water all around you. Yeah, that would be a pretty high volume physical attack, I gotta say. How can you run when there's rain all around? Like, where are you gonna go? Yeah. Yeah, water is pretty powerful. And it's pretty voluminous when it's raining. Yeah, I think we used it up. Aww. Oh, don't give me head pets. Okay. Watch like a still come and land on the... An Imperial Mage. What would an Imperial Mage do? Oh, please leave Fern alone. I don't like the idea of you associating with Fern. It's all she needs. I don't know if... Yeah, we got the see-through clothes one. I was just gonna say, maybe you shouldn't be talking about this. Oh, this is the party that had one of the people die. Oh, so that is so sad. They had caught the still and everything, and oh wow, I feel so bad for them. I don't even know them. Oh, but they're still gonna. For what? None of us have any mana. Are we just gonna fist fight? Are we just gonna, we're gonna fight? We're gonna fight, oh my god, dang it though. Oh hey, how are you doing, babe? Oh, you look kind of bored. Oh, he's super lonely, you know he is. He's like, yeah, no one's around to make me go to bed, or it's like a kid whose like parents are gone. It's like, no one's around to tell me what to do. That was a really, really good one, you guys. For me, huge takeaway is just like the flashback about knowing Serie. And so this is what we know of Serie so far. And I hope I'm saying the name right. If I'm not, you can correct me. We know that which of course they've been around for a while because we're talking about elves here. But they were around back. So they were Flamme's master. If I'm interpreting that correctly, because I'm pretty sure they said like, oh, my student has come back with a student or something to that effect. Here's the thing. When we first found out the thing about like, oh, you can get any spell you want, I'm like, yeah, I think Frieren's going to be interested in that, but I think there's going to be something about the way that this is done that is like really not going to sit well with Frieren. And I was right. Because I think at the end of the day, like, yes, we see Frieren, like, really being... Oh, there goes Buffy. Buffy, honey, it's okay, baby. It's okay. You don't need to bork. You don't need to bork. Oh, okay, we're borking. We're borking. Sorry. Don't pay attention to the borking. Anyway, yeah, there's something about Frieren that... I feel like it really is all about the journey to her. And whenever we see her collecting spells, we never see her like, I have got to get to that next spell. My life depends on it. It's always like, I'm going to take maybe 5 or 10 years and just really enjoy the ride of looking for spells, you know? So like, I feel like that makes total sense that it's all about the journey for her. And I think in a way, this whole show is about it being all about the journey. And that's why, like, I think some of the, like, more, I don't know what you call them, philosophical or just non-action-y parts of the show are, like, some of the best. And it's really interesting how, like, the action almost takes, like, second place to the emotional connections and that aspect of the story, which usually it's always the other way around. Buffy! Baby, can you bork later? Can you bork another time? I'm like minutes away from turning off the camera, and then she's just gonna like go to sleep. And I won't hear anything from her while the camera's off. That's how it's gonna go. Right now she's in the window and she's borking her head up. So, yeah. Little reply bork. All right, guys, what was I saying? So anyway, yeah, I think that makes total sense that it's all about the journey. And honestly, like, I'm really sizing up Denkin is really interesting because at first I was like, he seems like a real smarmy politician, and like I don't know about him. He seems like kind of a sleazy person and everything. And then I was like, well, but he didn't want to kill the girls, and he didn't, you know, like, he kind of has the right idea about it. And the more I'm hearing from him, the more I'm seeing that, like, he actually does have, I don't know if he's good, but he does seem to have some kind of code that does align, at least at times, with good. So I don't want to go so far as to say, like, oh, he's like this great person, but the more I'm seeing of him, the more I'm like, okay, I think there's more to him, and like the fact that he just kind of wants to go visit a grave and everything. Now, there's two parts of that. One part of me is like, oh my god, he really is trying to bring some of them back from the dead, but he's trying to get a spell for it. But no, I think in the context of this show, I think it is that he probably just lost someone close to him, and it's so important to him to go and be able to pay respects and visit that person and everything that he would be willing to go to all this trouble. Even though he already has wealth and riches and power and all this stuff, it's like, what have we learned on this show? At the end of the day, that's really not as important as the connections, the bonds that you form along the way. And so that kind of makes sense to me. So the more I'm seeing, the more I'm like, okay, I think you're decent. Richter really got his butt handed to him. So that was really cool as well, to be able to see like a little bit more of the technicalities of magic. We don't get into the technical aspect of it a lot, and I don't think we really need to, but it is kind of interesting to sort of see, like, they will give you the gist of like, hey, this is basic magic. This is flashy magic. This is what magic is rooted in. This is how we got this from this, and this is why this works this way. And it's very like, it's not, I mean, much like what they were saying, it doesn't have to be overly complex. The more you complicate it, the less effective it is. And I think, I don't know, I think that there's kind of an underlying theme of that entire message throughout the show, that like, you can add in all this other stuff on top of what's important in life, but at the end of the day, like, you know, when you've lived thousands of years, or when you're about to pass on, or any of that, like, what's really going to be important to you, you know, like what's going to stick out to you. And yeah, so I think that's just kind of a theme that you can find in a lot of aspects of this show. So, all right, guys, we got our bird. We finished off the first part of the exam. I don't even know where is she now? I don't even know if she's still in here. So yeah, now we're on to part 2, which I guess at some point, I don't know if it's in part 2 of the exam or beyond, but at some point we're going to have to compete against each other, which should be interesting. Oh my god, Frieren and the barrier too. Real quick before I wrap up, I'll just say Frieren and the barrier was so awesome. And I love how like they never really have to tell us that Frieren's a super powerful mage. All they have to tell you is like, this person's a super powerful mage, and have Frieren blow something they did out of the water. And you're like, yeah, okay, that's where we're at. You know, I feel like Frieren is like the Saitama of this world. Like, no one's ever gonna touch her level of power. All right, you guys. I'll wrap it up here because I got another one to watch after this. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. And please, as we are just getting more and more info, getting closer and closer to the end of this season, etc., don't leave me now. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.